We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
The best part of the nighttime racing season at Los Alamitos is here, as the best quarter horses in the nation set to compete in our biggest race, like the Los Alamitos Super Derby, the Champion of Champions, and the Los Alamitos 2 Million Futurity. Plus, the best bets in night racing continue, like our early and late pick fours, always with the best pools at night. And of course, our Pick 6 promos on Sunday nights. The best part of the year is here at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the race books and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Alrighty, good morning everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard and the South Point Streaming Network on YouTube. We welcome you to the show. And of course, all of you running around town on a beautiful morning here in Las Vegas, our local radio station, listening through Sports Talk 1400 AM and 107.1 FM. And, of course, all of our other websites and distribution we have on our platforms, like our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global. The iPhone, Android, and Google phone are covered with the apps. You can get your KSHP app to listen through the radio station or the YouTube app to see and hear us through YouTube streaming network at your phone app stores, whatever you have there for the Google iPhone and Android apps there. and, of course, anywhere you get your podcasting as well. We welcome you to the Race Day Show on this almost Friday, Thursday, as we kind of regroup and reflect on what the big Breeders' Cup weekend, etc. And all I can say is it was one hell of a Breeders' Cup, and of course the overriding stories in the Breeders' Cup is not the great performances, although there were plenty of them, but all of the multitude of scratches, 14 of them, and of course the CAW as well. But they'll work through those problems, etc. As far as the champions that have competed on the racetrack on Breeders' Cup last weekend, taking a look at some of the horses, this time of the year, between now and the end of the year, a lot of horses will be retired, and some of them will come back racing. Now, we were very fortunate in the fact that we had a great Breeders' Cup, although Sovereignty was denied a chance to run in the big Breeders' Cup Classic because of an untimely fever that he had. We're still waiting to find out, however, if Sovereignty will probably not run towards any more this year, but we're waiting to see if he will come back as a 4-year-old, because we were very fortunate in the fact that we had 3-year-olds from 2024 that came back this year that were competing in the 2024 Breeders' Cup. And lo and behold, the first 3 finishers in the Breeders' Cup of 2024 repeated the first 3 under the wire this year in the 2025, although there was a little bit of a difference of the order of finish. All three that finished first, second, and third last year finished first, second, and third this year as well. But we were fortunate enough to have those 3-year-olds from that year come back this year. And we're hoping that the 3-year-olds from this year will come back next year to prove the Breeders' Cup to be really the ultimate race of the year. Now, as far as I said, Sovereignty, we're still waiting. It's yet to be determined whether he's going to be retired or come back next year. We're crossing our fingers and hoping so, because we were really, you can just imagine if Sovereignty does the normal progression and growing up that you do from 3 to 4 years old, and what he accomplished as a 3-year-old, what he will do as a 4-year-old. So we'll wait and see, keep our fingers crossed on that. But other horses that raced in the Breeders' Cup, some of their connections are making it known now their plans for next year. As we said yesterday, Baeza is going to come back as a 4-year-old. So we know he's going to come back as a 4-year-old. And it was announced yesterday, after the deliberation of the ownership, that Journalism, the Preakness winner Journalism, and the Haskell winner Journalism will return to racing as a 4-year-old. Now, he's going to take a little bit of a vacation now, but they're pointing towards the Pegasus World Cup on the 24th of January. And if they don't get him tightened up to go in that race, then further out, an objective will be the Met Mile in New York for Journalism. And again, Journalism, of course, the Pegasus World Cup is the next big, huge handicap race for thoroughbreds, and that, of course, will happen at Gulfstream Park on the 24th of the first month of next year, which is approaching very fast. So that's for Journalism and Baeza. Now, and for Sovereignty. Now, as far as the other horses in the Breeders' Cup are concerned, there are some horses that will be making, they made through the Racing of Age sale down there at Keeneland, and of course, some will just be plain retired. For example, Bob Baffert was talking about all of his horses that ran in the Breeders' Cup and what their plans so far are for the horses that they've made plans for already. That includes Seismic Beauty, who, of course, will be back to race, is going to get a little freshening, but it was, I think in the Breeders' Cup, she got a bad break and finished off the board. But Seismic Beauty, by the way, was favorite in that race. Seismic Beauty was purchased for $2.5 million at the sale recently in Keeneland. But the new connections told Baffert that he's going to keep the horse, obviously, and this horse is going to be, this mare will be freshened for next year's competition. So Seismic Beauty changes ownership at the cost of $2.5 million, but will be back and be freshened before coming back for Baffert. Nisos, the big winner of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, in an absolute epic performance in a battle with his stablemate Citizen Bull. Nisos Baffert says going to take a little rest, but he is pointing Nysos next year to the Saudi Cup, the $10 million Saudi Cup. I believe it, it's 10 million, maybe 20, who knows. It depends on how much money we're spending on gas, I guess. But in any case, the Saudi Cup, which will be conducted next year on the 14th of February, is the next aim for Nysos. So Nysos is coming back next year, and Baffert said he's going to point him towards the Saudi Cup. He'd like to get him to the Saudi Cup, he said. So maybe we'll see him there. Splendora. Still waiting to find out what's going on with Splendora. So we don't know exactly what's happening with Splendora, but I guess the plans will be forthcoming. Citizen Bull, who ran Nysos to that epic performance with that stride for stride battle in the Breeders' Cup Dirt, but fell just a photo finish short. He has been retired. Citizen Bull has been retired. Other Baffert trainees that ran over the weekend, Imagination and Nevada Beach, are both coming back in 2026. And, of course, all the Baffert's 2-year-olds will be coming back next year on the march to the Derby and the Triple Crown. So that's just some of the updates on the horses that raced in the Breeders' Cup, and, of course, the connections of those respective horses that have already made plans and have stated plans for them next year. So it looks like we're going to have a pretty good competition of horses that 3-year-olds that race this year that will stay on the track and run next year. But of course, we're all waiting to see what might happen with Sovereignty. And so taking a look at that, that's fine. Hey, the weather here in Las Vegas, 64 degrees outside. It's perfect, beautiful out there. We're going to get up to 78 today. Now, if you're planning on coming up the weekend here to join us here at the South Point over the weekend in Las Vegas, the lows will be right around high 50s, low 60s overnight. And Friday, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to push just a little bit over the 80-degree mark for the high. Low 80s, like 81, 82, but we're going to be right in that range for the weekend. As far as covering the nation today, and, of course, the racing around the country today, it looks pretty good. There's really nothing going on except way up in the corner of the Northwest over Seattle and Oregon. Washington and Oregon got some going on there at the shoreline. A little bit going on the western shore of Florida, and outside of that, looks pretty good for racing all over the country. And as far as the temperatures are concerned, Miami might have a little bit of rain coming with that front that's coming from the west over the edge of Florida onto the east coast. But 82 degrees and partly maybe a little rain there. New York has temperatures ranging to 56 degrees today. Chicago will be 59, topping out at 59 there. And, of course, Los Angeles, 75 and sunny, but there's no racing today at Del Mar. And, of course, the hot spot in the nation again, 86 degrees. Make that 88 degrees in Brownville, Texas. That's the hot spot right there. Phoenix, Arizona, by the way, is close. It's 86 degrees there. And racing conditions should be fine all over the country today. Taking a look at what happened yesterday at Churchill Downs. Jose Ortiz got his first win of the day in the first race aboard Barb for Mike Maker, paying $5.54. Then he came right back in the third race for his second win. Ortiz's second win came with Kiana for Daniel Leach, paid $14.32. And Jose Ortiz came right back in the fourth race for winning 3 of the first 4 races yesterday at Churchill Downs with I'm a Little Crazy, trained by Phil D'Amato. Phil D'Amato has a stable out there at Churchill Downs now, small stable. So that was Ortiz's third win of the day, and the I'm a Little Crazy paid $12.76. The early pick 5 yesterday at Churchill Downs paid $2,000, a little bit over $2,093 and change. Seventh race, so brother Ired, get his first win of the day for Brad Cox in the form of Mr. Punch. Mr. Punch wins the 7th and pays $9.20. And then Ired Ortiz Jr. and Brad Cox came back together again to team up for their second win together on the day in the 9th race with Zunday Sunday paid $4.86. Pick six yesterday at Churchill Downs paid $2,663.08. All right. Looking ahead to this weekend, we got some, pretty nice racing going on as far as this weekend, as far as the races are concerned. Today, Aqueduct will have a couple of stakes races, the Tempted and the Chelsea Flower. Tomorrow, they'll have the Central Park and the Stewart Manor, all at Aqueduct. And then, of course, on Saturday, Aqueduct comes back with 5 night stake races. The Dwyer Stakes, always an interesting race for the future aspirations of the entrants there. The Pumpkin Pie Stakes, I guess a little bit late for Halloween, but nevertheless, it's that Thanksgiving seasonal type thing. Pumpkin Pie Stakes. The Hill Prince Stakes, a grade 3 on the turf. The Long Island, a grade 3 on the turf. That one is at 1 mile and 3/8. And, of course, the Mother Goose, the grade 2 Mother Goose at Aqueduct at 1 mile and 1/8 for the fillies. And this used to be part of the Philly Triple Crown at one time, the New York Philly Triple Crown, but no longer, I guess. The Mother Goose now will be on Saturday. And as far as any of the other racing is concerned, there is a race that's going to come up on Saturday as well at Del Mar. The Chosen Vron Stakes. The renamed Chosen Vron. The first edition of the Chosen Vron Stakes will be on Sunday, or Saturday, I should say, at Del Mar. So looking ahead, it looks like a pretty good weekend as far as the competition is concerned. Today, we do not have Jonathan Hardoon with us. He is in transit, but he left me your picks, so you're going to get some picks out of Jonathan today. Rich Eng will be back with us today, and don't forget, we have a Thursday night football game with the Las Vegas Raiders visiting the Denver Broncos. So we'll wait and see what thoughts Richie might have on that game as far as the point spread, etc. And it'll be interesting because our Las Vegas Raiders is not doing well at all so far this year. See if they can correct it. They are about 8.5, 9.5 point underdog to Denver, who's having a good year so far for them in the NFL. And, of course, Richie will have a selection in the horse racing for us as well. We'll get John Lindo coming aboard to talk a little bit about Churchill Downs and what's going on in Southern California for racing. Remember, with all of this attention drawn to Del Mar for the Breeders' Cup weekend, we have to remind everybody out there that that was the beginning of the Del Mar Fall Meeting. They've got quite a bit more racing going on through the Thanksgiving holiday, etc. That will also be hosting the Hollywood Turf Series as well there. So John Lindo will be with us, and Jerry Jackowitz, of course, for Aqueduct. So, without any further ado, we'll go to our first break. And don't forget to get to the chat box on our South Point streaming network at YouTube. Just go to our website, go to our position on the YouTube, and start chatting away. All you got to do is subscribe. If you haven't already, it's free. And then you can jump in and start chatting on the chat box. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
The best part of the nighttime racing season at Los Alamitos is here, as the best quarter horses in the nation set to compete in our biggest race, like the Los Alamitos Super Derby, the Champion of Champions, and the Los Alamitos 2 Million Futurity. Plus, the best bets in night racing continue, like our early and late pick fours, always with the best pools at night. And of course, our pick six promos on Sunday nights. The best part of the year is here at Los Alamitos.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas, and our chatters are chatting away. One of our chatters that come from Arizona wants to remind all of you out there through the chat box that live racing returns to Phoenix, Arizona with Turf Paradise. He says it opens on Monday. And finally, Arizona gets some live racing back there at Turf Paradise on Monday. But for today, here's your racing menu for this Thursday. And remember that the first post times we broadcast on the show each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone, because that's where we're at here in the Pacific time zone. If you're listening or watching in any other time zone around the world, just adjust to the Pacific time zone from whatever one you're in, tweak it out, and then you won't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad. All right? We begin our racing menu today with Aqueduct Racetrack. Aqueduct has 9 races today. Should be a good day, a great day out there at Aqueduct. Mostly cloudy and 50 degrees. The track is fast. The turf courses are firm. Races 6 and 9 will be on the outer turf course, and the inner turf course will host races 4 and 8. The rest, of course, on the fast main track. And again, mostly cloudy with 50 degrees there at Aqueduct. As far as Aqueduct is concerned, they have 9 races, 2 stakes races today, as we mentioned. The 6th race will be the Chelsea Flower Stakes for 2-year-old fillies. That'll be on the outer turf course at 1 mile and 1/16, a field of 9 before scratches. And in this race, the 8-5 favorite is Deep Learning with that hot riding Flavian Pratt, who had 7 winners on Sunday at Aqueduct and almost had 8. He finished second in his other 2 races. So Flavian Pratt aboard the 8-5 favorite Deep Learning in the Chelsea Flower Stakes. That's the 6th on the card. And then we'll go to the much earlier in the second race, the $150,000 Tempted Stakes for 2-year-old fillies going 1 mile on the main track. Now, Aqueduct is 1 mile and 1/8 in circumference, so it'll be a 1-turn, 1 mile event. The Tempted Stakes just drew 5 in it, just 5, but it's a competitive 5. The 9-5 favorite there is Chicane, and the 2-1 second choice on the morning line is Believable. That is the Tempted Stakes, the second on the card. 9 races today at Aqueduct. First post time is at 9:10 at the Big A today. Coming up next is Mahoning Valley Racecourse. Mahoning Valley Racecourse has a couple of carryovers today. They have a regular pick 5 carryover of $2,939. That's a regular pick 5 carryover, $2,939. And then their pick 6 jackpot carryover sits at $19,076. $19,076 for the pick 6 jackpot carryover. Mahoning Valley Racecourse, first post time is at 9:15 today at Mahoning Valley. Then we go to Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky. Churchill Downs has 9 races today. They've got a super high 5 carryover of $6,985. $6,985 is the Churchill Downs super high 5 carryover. They have a pick 6 jackpot carryover, is now standing at $135,547. $135,547 in the pick 6 jackpot carryover at Churchill. They have 9 races today, and their first post time is at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. at Churchill. Horseshoe Indianapolis has 10 races, and they have a super high 5 carryover there as well. Horseshoe Indianapolis carryover in the super high 5 stands at $4,913. $4,913 in the super high 5 carryover at Horseshoe Indianapolis. And a first post time there for 10 races set at 11:10. There's 9 thoroughbred races. The final race will be a quarter horse race, making up the 10 in Horseshoe Indianapolis. Again, first post time is at 11:10. All right, next up comes Woodbine, north of the border there at Woodbine. They may have some tricky weather going on up there, Woodbine, today. But they have 7 races at Woodbine. They're coming pretty close to their close. I think they close in December sometime. Anyhow, Woodbine has a carryover. Their pick 6 jackpot carryover stands at $2,481, $2,481. And their super high 5 jackpot carryover is $74,090. And a couple of nice carryovers there. $74,090 in the super high 5 jackpot carryover at Woodbine. Just 7 races. First post time is at 2:30. Delta Downs will kick in with their racing card. 8 races today at Delta, and a first post time at Delta Downs also sitting at 2:45. 2:45 there, along with Penn National. Penn National is next. They also have a first post time at 2:45. They have 9 races today at Penn National. Their Super High 5 jackpot carryover, $5,208, $5,208 in the Super High 5 jackpot carryover at Penn National. 9 races. First post time is at 2:45 at Penn National today as well. Charlestown has 8 races. Charlestown has a Pick 6 jackpot carryover of $82,449. $82,449 in the carryover in the Charlestown Pick 6 jackpot. And their first post time for 8 races set at 4 p.m. And then we wrap it up with Remington Park. Remington, 9 races, and also first post time at 4 p.m. And that's that. Okay, now, as I said, Jonathan Hardoon will not be with us today. He reminds me to tell you that he has full sheets for both Aqueduct and Churchill at his website, but we'll get his picks for today. We're going to go to Churchill Downs first, so get your Churchill Downs sheet. And at Churchill Downs, and I will be checking right now any late scratches, if it's posted yet for Churchill. Yes, they are. And so we'll go to Churchill Downs. We'll go to the 5th race today at Churchill. And no late scratches so far in the 5th race, so we're good with his pick there. In the 5th race today at Churchill Downs, which is the anchor in the early pick 5 and early pick 4, for 2-year-old maidens going a mile and 16th. These are fillies. In the 5th race, Jonathan likes number 2, Hanafleur. Number 2, Hanafleur. At 7-2 with Tyler Gaffleone is John. I'm sorry, that's John Lindo's pick. Well, I tipped off at John Lindo's pick. That's okay. We'll go to the 8th race. John will give you your pick is later again. All right, in the 8th race today at Churchill Downs. That's Jonathan's pick today, the 8th race at Churchill Downs. An optional claiming allowance race for 3-year-olds and up at 6 furlongs. In the 8th race at Churchill, Jonathan likes number 6, Lofty Adjudicator. Number 6, Lofty Adjudicator. 6-1 on the morning line. That's Jonathan Hardoon's pick at Churchill Downs. 8th race, the 6. Okay, now we'll go to Aqueduct. At the Big A today, Jonathan's pick comes in the 4th race, which is part of the early pick 4 and early pick 5. In the 4th race at Aqueduct, and we'll check and see if those scratches are in yet. In the 4th race at Aqueduct, he likes the 6 horse, Con Man. Number 6, Con Man in the 4th race at Aqueduct. Now, I'm going to give you the scratches there because it was set at a mile on the inner turf course. Now, all of these, except for 2, are main track onlys, and since it stays on the turf, here we go. You ready? The 1, American Grant, is a vet illness scratch. So scratch the 1, a vet scratch on the 1 horse, American Grant. Number 8, Win It to Risk It All. Number 8, Win It to Risk It All, is also a vet scratch in the race. And then the main track onlys, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay? 10 through 16 were main track onlys, and they're all scratched. So left in the race, in the body of the race then, will be 7 horses, and the 6-horse Con Man is Jonathan Hardoon's pick in the race. Number 6, Con Man, the pick in the 4th race today at Aqueduct, okay? And the others were all late scratches. So there you have it. And again, remember, Aqueduct has, and Churchill Downs, Jonathan has his sheets both at Aqueduct and Churchill Downs, full sheets today from Jonathan Hardoon at his website. We're going to go to our next break, and when we come back, Rich Eng is standing by. Wonder if Rich Eng is going to, what does he think of our local team, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the terrible start that they've had. But they're playing on Thursday night against the Denver Broncos. I wonder who he likes in that race and that game as well. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thank you, buddy. There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans. Everybody knows where the money's going, every single dollar. God bless you. Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
Are you ready to lock in your bets and cash in on the games this weekend? Get weekly football winners from Alex White, Chris Andrews, and Vinny Malulo.
I did take the dog 3.5.
I'm going to stay with the Colts here. That's definitely going to be one of my plays.
If the Bears have turned a corner, they have to take care of business in this game.
Yes.
Tune in for behind-the-book perspectives you won't find anywhere else.
Well, if you're looking to bet the under, you're going to get a better number.
The wise guys are certainly not going to play the favorites.
I know if it hits 7, don't blink. Maybe that's what bettors are waiting for.
Every NFL matchup, every college game that matters, the spreads, the stats, and the smart money plays.
Is there a way to bet against both teams?
Get your winning edge with Football Frenzy, streaming on YouTube every Friday at noon Pacific.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, now, Richie, we got that Thursday night game going on in the NFL tonight on the Prime streaming network. And our local team, the Las Vegas Raiders, will be on display, I guess, in competition with the Denver Broncos. Now, in the race, as far as is concerned for their division, it looks like the Raiders got a hard road to hoe, and the Denver Broncos are playing very good ball, and their defense is great. But there's a big point spread on tonight's game, so how do you see it?
Well, these are two teams going in different directions. The Denver Broncos have won 6 in a row. They're firmly entrenched in the playoff hunt. It's just a matter of what kind of seeding they're going to get. And the Raiders are going the other direction. I think it's pretty safe to say they are out of the playoff picture. But, last week against Jacksonville, they played hard. They played well right to the wire. And then when they had a chance to either tie the game, Pete Carroll decided to go for a 2-point conversion to try to win it. I don't have any issues with that because when you're going nowhere, you might as well, play aggressive. And they were unable to get the 2 yards in the 2-point conversion, lost to Jacksonville. But they played hard for 60 minutes. So, when I was looking at the point spreads, Ralph, I already bet the game. But here in the Las Vegas market, I saw 8.5, 9, and 9.5 at different books around town. I bet the Raiders at plus 9.5. And another angle, too, is if you are a teaser bettor, this is a fantastic teaser game to bet because if you like the Raiders, you can tease them up to 15.5. You use a 6-point teaser. You can tease them up to 15.5. If you like Denver, you better shop. You want the 8.5. And if you tease them 6 points, you can tease them down to minus 2.5, Ralph. Yeah. So I think this is a really interesting betting game, especially with the different point spreads. And if you're out of town, not in the Vegas market, I always guarantee you're going to find some 10s on the line. So whether you like the Raiders or Denver, if you're a Raiders fan, getting 10 would be pretty good. But I'm going to try the Raiders, Ralph, only because they're playing hard for Pete Carroll. The only game that they really played just awful was that game a couple of weeks ago against Kansas City. They lost 30-3, and they only had 3 first downs, and it was just a miserable effort. But for the most part, the Raiders, are playing hard. They are already looking forward to next season. They traded at the trading deadline Jacoby Myers away, so they got some draft picks. But Pete Carroll's a heck of a coach. I still think that he's the right hire for this spot. He just needs more time, and he needs more players. I know some teams have had quick turnarounds like the Chicago Bears, but when Ben Johnson moved into that Chicago Bears job, Ralph, he had a lot of talent on that roster, and now they're 6-3. But Pete Carroll, this roster for the Raiders does not have a lot of talent, so it's going to take a while to build up the depth so he compete at the level he's used to.
Well, I think as far as trying to score points and getting a win, it all is based around the quarterback position. And sometimes Geno is good, sometimes he's not. So we'll wait and see here. But that is a big number. And like you said, if you're outside of Nevada, you'll probably get the best number you can get anywhere in the world, because here in Las Vegas, we still have a lot of Raiders fans that are loyal fans, and they'll be betting them here. So if you can get the 9.5, beautiful. Otherwise, you're probably going to sit there at 8.5. But you like the Raiders and getting as many points as you can in the game over the Broncos. Now let's take a look at some horse racing here, buddy. What do you got?
Well, I tell you what, let's go to race number 6 at Aqueduct. It is a turf stakes, the Chelsea Flower, and I'm going to try the number 5 horse, Filet d'Oro, with Manny Franco riding for Brad Cox. This horse ran pretty well last time in the stakes. Had a trouble trip, but the maiden win was real impressive. So in 2 starts, his horses looked like a lot of young talent. So we'll go with the 5, Filet d'Oro at 3-1, Ralph, to win the Chelsea Flower.
All right, the 6th race on the card, number 5, Filet d'Oro. The 5 in the 6th race is your selection there. And, of course, you'll be back to work with a full handicapping sheet tomorrow. When Del Mar kicks up for another week of racing. And, of course, you have a full sheet at Del Mar. In the meantime, we'll sit there and see if the Raiders can stay within the number with the Denver Broncos tonight. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, you got it, my man. We'll go to our final break, and when we come back, we'll chew a little fat with Mr. John Lindo, and, of course, Jerry J will have his pick at Aqueduct as well. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style Paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
The best part of the nighttime racing season at Los Alamitos is here, as the best quarter horses in the nation set to compete in our biggest race, like the Los Alamitos Super Derby, the Champion of Champions, and the Los Alamitos 2 Million Futurity. Plus, the best bets in night racing continue, like our early and late pick fours, always with the best pools at night. And of course, our Pick 6 promos on Sunday nights. The best part of the year is here at Los Alamitos.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
Alrighty, back on Race Day Las Vegas. It's time to go out to Southern California, where John Lindo is. And John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. And I know it's just a beautiful day down there in Southern California. It's going to be sunny down there today, right?
Gorgeous today. Not a cloud in the sky. It'll be, and it's going to be a little bit warmer. We'll be, right by the beach. We'll be 70, 72, wow, which is perfect down here this time of year.
Yeah, get the sunblock and your surfboard, and you're all set and ready to go on this 6th day of November in Southern California. John, taking a look at what's happening on the racing scene there. A lot of people get so jazzed up and everything for the Breeders' Cup on the first weekend at Del Mar. Some people don't realize that Del Mar has still a long season to go for their fall meet. I think it's another 4 weeks or so. And, of course, always popular is the Hollywood Turf Festival that happens over the Thanksgiving weekend.
Right. And for the rest of this meet now, like I say, 4 weeks, it'll be a Friday through Sunday week of racing. There will be no racing on Thanksgiving Day. They're giving the horsemen the holiday off, which is nice. And you mentioned that turf festival at the back of the meet. That's always really popular with the Eastern horsemen, too, because this time of year, you're not going to see a lot of turf racing back there. So you usually get the Graham Motions, the Chad Browns, Jonathan Thomas, who usually have something in there, and a few other guys. So that weekend of Thanksgiving, that Thanksgiving weekend with the Matriarch and the Hollywood Derby and everything else, it's a really good weekend of grass racing down here at Del Mar.
You know, we have emphasized the fact of the 14 scratches on Breeders' Cup and having to do something with a little bit more of a structure to that. And I remember not too many years ago, you're talking about the Hollywood Turf Festival, where Chad Brown did send some horses out, but he got some of his horses scratched by the vets, and he had a very sour taste in his mouth, and it took him a long time to start sending horses back out.
Yeah, and he had a bad experience too. I think it was at Santa Anita. It might have been 2017. I'm not sure the exact date when the Breeders' Cup was there, but they took a couple of his horses out of the Breeders' Cup, and he was not happy about that. And that's when all those protocols are being ramped up after everything that had happened. It was kind of new, and we're now seeing it on a regular basis. But it is what it is. We know what the protocols are, and we've been through it for a while now. So the horsemen know what to expect when they bring their horses out here. And unfortunately, these are the rules we play by. We just have to deal with it.
And we will, no doubt about it. And we are looking ahead, of course, to this first big weekend at Del Mar without all the pomp and circumstance of the Breeders' Cup, that's for sure. But we're taking a look today at Churchill Downs. I know that each and every week when you start a sheet of the week for whatever track you're starting at, you always update the jockey and trainer standings for the people who get the Lindell Report to kind of get a feel of who's hot and who's not right now at the particular track. And today you have a suggested late pick 5 sheet. The Lindell Report is a suggested late pick 5 for Churchill Downs today, and you put the update of the jockey trainer standings in it.
Right, with the Breeders' Cup going on, a lot of jocks running around the country. A little bit of a different leaderboard, but the leading jockeys going into this week through yesterday at Churchill Downs. Alex Concepcion is the leading rider at Churchill. He's got 8 winners. Jose Ortiz had 3 wins yesterday. He's got 7. That puts him in a tie with Tyler Gaffleone for second. And then as far as the trainers go, Brad Cox won a couple of races yesterday. He's got 7 wins, so he leads all the trainers. Brendan Walsh has 5. He continues to have a very steady, solid 2025. And Steve Asmussen's got 4 wins. So the usual suspects on the trainer board, but Alex Concepcion was the guy taking advantage of when all the big guys were out of town. He was making hay over there at Churchill Downs.
Yeah, no question about that. Even Dwayne Colucci on the show yesterday was commenting how hot Concepcion was right now over the recent days at Churchill Downs. What about them favorites, man?
I think the last 2 days the favorites were strong. It's up to 39%. It was struggling as far as the numbers. So we're hovering around the mean there, Ralph, right? 39% right now.
Well, we know that you just said that Del Mar is going to give the horsemen off on Thanksgiving Day, and that's kind of nice for Southern California horsemen. But Churchill Downs, Thanksgiving Day is one of the biggest days for Family Day out at Churchill Downs. They have these big Thanksgiving deals going on at Churchill, so they'll have a big Thanksgiving weekend card down there at Churchill Downs in Kentucky.
They do, and they go with the early start. So for I think Las Vegas, it'll probably start about 8 in the morning or 8:30, so it gives you plenty of time to get back with the family. And they end their meet there at Churchill Downs with the second version of the Stars of Tomorrow, an all 2-year-old card. I think it's that Sunday, and that's always a lot of fun. You just never know what you're going to see. We saw Sovereignty break his maiden in the Street Sense Stakes last year on the first Stars of Tomorrow card, and so you've got so many good 2-year-olds out there, especially in Kentucky with the purse money. It's good to keep an eye on those types of races.
And, John, we're talking about what happened at the Breeders' Cup and all that, and we're still waiting on, I don't know, sometimes as a racing fan and, of course, a player, on bated breath to see what happens with Sovereignty. But did you've heard any rumors about what they might be doing with the Sovereignty?
I have not. I know earlier in the year they had mentioned the fact that they would love to win the Dubai World Cup with him. So that would be a big reason to keep him in training next year. And it would be fantastic if they did. I think Sovereignty would be a better 4-year-old than he already was a terrific 3-year-old. And it would be a lot like last year when you had the top 3-year-olds all come back around 1, 2, 3. This year in the Breeders' Cup, you would have, we already have Baeza back. We have Journalism coming back. That was announced yesterday. And if you get Sovereignty back, that would be a great 4-year-old crop. And then we never know what the 3-year-olds will be next year until we see them. So it lines things up for another good year of racing year round if we can get Sovereignty back in the fold for next year.
Yeah, and talking about Sovereignty, he kind of started making his bones on the national scene in the 3-year-olds during the Gulfstream meet down there at Gulfstream Park, their championship meet, and the Pegasus World Cup is coming up towards the end of January and the 24th. And since Sovereignty hasn't run, did not participate in the Breeders' Cup, you wonder if they, if they're going to keep him in training and they want to make the Dubai World Cup, if the Pegasus World Cup might not be a good race to start his 4-year-old campaign in.
I agree. That would be the perfect prep. The timing going into the Dubai World Cup would make a lot of sense. So, yeah, hopefully, and, Bill Mott is stable down there at Gulfstream Park in the wintertime.
Yeah.
So it makes all the sense in the world for him to come back there. I hope that's the case. And, we've got Nisos back. You had talked about the Bob Baffert horses, and Splendora, who won the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Sprint, she will be back next year as well. And Seismic Beauty, who had all the trouble in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, she was sold this week, but she's coming back into training, different ownership. The Boyds bought her, and she will be back with Bob Baffert next year as well.
Well, they laid down $2.5 million to get her, so they might want to make some of that money back before they send her to the breeding shed, which would not be a bad idea. As far as Pletcher's, top horses, Fierceness and Mindframe, I think they're both going to be retired, aren't they?
They're already at the stud farms.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I don't have it in front of me. One of them, I think Fierceness might be at Coolmore. I don't know if Mindframe is at the same place. He might be at a different location, but they're already at the stud farms in Kentucky being shown off during all the breeding stock sales down there at Keeneland right now.
And Sierra Leone, do we have a thought on him at all?
He is retired. That was it for him as well, and I think he goes to Coolmore as well. So, so we have to kind of replace some of those older horses, and so far so good. Like I said, if we can get the big one, if we can get Sovereignty back for a 4-year-old year, that would be fantastic.
Because we'll have Sovereignty, we'll have Journalism, we'll have Baeza, all of those 3-year-olds from last year turning universal older, 1 year older on January 1st. They will be the 4-year-olds that make their way into the Breeders' Cup Classic if all the parts stay in the right place. And then we can get the 3-year-olds through the Triple Crown of next year, heading towards that as well. And we could have almost a duplicate of the scenario that happened this year in the Breeders' Cup, of course, exempt of Sovereignty, who scratched because of a fever.
Yeah, and we'll have a 5-year-old Nisos as well. If we can get him to stay in steady training without any gaps, he would be a real interesting horse for next year as well.
Yeah, and Baffert did say with Nisos, he ran the mile, and we all saw that competitive, unbelievable duel in the mile, the dirt mile in the Breeders' Cup to get that win in a photo finish. But I think that he would love to get him stretched out a little bit more and get into races like the Dubai World Cup and the Pegasus and, of course, the Breeders' Cup Classic. So if the horse keeps improving and maturing as a 4-year-old, he might have something there.
Well, his goal, he's already stated, he wants that Saudi Cup, that $20 million race. That's a 1-turn mile and an eighth in Riyadh.
Yeah.
And that'll be the winter goal for Nisos if everything goes well.
All right. Well, John, you got a pick for us at Churchill Downs. I kind of tipped the mitt because I identified your horse when I was giving Jonathan's plays out again. But just for the record, an official pick at Churchill Downs.
Yeah, that's the 5th race today at Churchill Downs. I like number 2, Han Fleur. This is a filly trained by Chad Brown. Missed the break on her debut. When she got to the outside in the stretch, she really leveled off and finished good. That was going 6.5 furlongs. Mm-hmm. She galloped out like a route filly. She stretches out today. She's got more tactical speed, I think, if she breaks with the field. So if she breaks clean from post 2, she'll be a lot closer. She ought to love the 2 turns. 7-2 on the morning line is a very fair price. Number 2, Han Fleur, race number 5 at Churchill Downs.
And that is the anchor in the early pick 4 and early pick 5, but it is also the start of the late pick 5 that you have a sheet on right here at the South Point, and only here at the South Point, and free of charge, the Linda Report for the last 5 races at Churchill. 5th race is the pivotal race, ending the first pick 5, starting the last pick 5, and you like the 2, Han Fleur, with Tyler Gaffleone for Brad Cox. And, of course, that sheet is available, the Linda Report, only here in the gaming capital of the world at the South Point Racebook, free of charge. Hey, thanks a lot, John. Enjoy the day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, Ralph. Good luck today.
Okay, now we go out to Jerry Jackowitz. Let me see. I can't identify the cap. I know that
It says the Gulf Father.
the golf father.
The golf. Like
Golf father. Okay, you're the golf father. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you on the golf course, then you make them a deal they can't refuse.
I do. That's exactly what I do.
All right.
Listen, I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
If you can't bet John's horse, if you can, you should go to Honfleur in France. It's a wonderful little town in Normandy.
And I'm taking that you're talking from experience, having had a trip there, huh? Okay.
A few years ago, we went to Normandy and then down to the beaches to pay respects to the D-Day cemetery and see all of the events. It's the most wonderful trip I ever took. And Honfleur is a wonderful seaside city, a really interesting place in Normandy. So.
You know, I'm glad that you mentioned the fact that you went down there to see in honor of the men who didn't make it in World War II, because it's been such a long time ago and people kind of get washed away with the history. But one of the commercials that we have that we play all the time is for Tunnel to Towers, and this is a charity that just is 100% you should get behind, folks, because they do good work for the disabled veterans that they're giving homes to, and all of the service people and first responders that get killed in the line of duty. They pay off their mortgages. So my suggestion to anybody out there is just one $2 Exacta box, which is a $12 layout. If you could just use one of those a month and join the Tunnel to Towers donation at $11 a month, it goes to a very, very good cause. It'll make you feel good. All right, Jerry. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you got a pick for us today at Aqueduct?
Yeah, I didn't have any pop-out keys today, strangely enough. I just couldn't really make one. But I got a play here in the 9th race, Roagna, the 3-horse. At 7-2, 3-1 is probably okay. You know, getting too much below 3-1, I don't know about that. Bond has been not the hottest trainer in the world, but this is a good move for him, coming off a little freshening. And the horse has the ability to win this race and is well posted and got a good job. Let's take the 3 over the 4, 7, 8, and 10. Reverse 4, 7, 8, and 10 back over the 3. And the 3 will be our play as long as we're getting, say, 3-1 or better.
And that is number 3, Rogana?
Rogana. I don't know how you pronounce it. Roagna.
Let's just make it a winner. How about that? Just call it a winner.
Right.
The 3-horse in the 9th race. Now, you said your link-ups were 4, 6, 8, and 9. The 8, however...
4, 7, 8, and 10.
I'm sorry. 4, 7, 8, and 10. Okay, so it's the 4, 7, 8, 10, but the 8 is scratched, so it'll be just the 4, 7, 10. The 8, Princess Summer, has been scratched. And I know why you probably put that one in with Flavien Prat riding that horse and winning 7 races on Sunday at Aqueduct. This guy was really... He was really...
You can't toss him out. There's other reasons, too, but... That'll work. So that makes this horse at 3-1 a better play, believe it or not, a little bit. So it helps. Helps in a way.
So then officially the 9th race, the 3 is the key. The link-ups are 4, 7, and 10 and reverse, right?
Correct.
Okay. And of course, the power pages for today can be had right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. No pop-out keys, huh?
Yeah, I just couldn't make one. So I didn't want to force it.
No, you shouldn't. I mean, if it comes to you, it comes to you. If not, you can't, start jerry-rigging something just to make a pop-out key.
Jerry-rigging, there you go.
That's right. In any case, your Raiders are playing tonight at Denver, so I know where you're...
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
You think, Rich Eng...
I'm going to make a public statement here.
Go ahead.
If the offense doesn't play better, they got to get rid of...
Smith.
We got to get rid of
Gino?
The offensive coordinator.
Oh, the coordinator. Okay. Keep the quarterback. Keep the quarterback. Get rid of the coordinator.
Quarterback's fantastic. You can't play quarterback when people are climbing all over you.
That is absolutely correct. So. Get that offensive line to get a little bit tougher tonight. All right, we've done it all. So Jerry has one more thing to say.
Have a great race day, everybody.